If you're a therapist or a psychiatrist or any other kind of mental health professional, chances are you're doing a lot of your appointments over telepsych or telemental health. You may be noticing that you feel burnt out throughout the day, or that you're not as able to engage your patient or not as effective as you would be in person. Just know that you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 7 do's and don'ts of telepsychiatry or telemental health, coming right at you. Welcome to the Level Up Mental Health channel, where we talk about how technology impacts your relationships, parenting, and your own personal mental health. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Mike, a child and adult psychiatrist out of Pasadena, California. Welcome. So today I have 7 do's and don'ts of telepsychiatry to help you feel like you're more engaged with your patient during these sessions. And if you stay till the end of the video, I've got one bonus tip that I have for you to help you outside of the session. So stay tuned for that. And if you're new here, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you're not a mental health provider and you're just telecommuting to do your job and you're having a lot of video conferences, I think these tips will help you stay engaged with your coworkers, employees, or bosses as well. When doing a telepsych appointment, realize that it may feel unnatural or uncomfortable because it's a condition that you weren't trained in. So it's going to take some time for you to get used to it, and that's okay. A lot of what makes a therapy appointment special is that ability to have an engaging interpersonal conversation with your client or patient. It may seem much easier to convey understanding and reflection in person. There are, however, advantages for your patient seeing you over telemental health. Things such as seeing the patient in their home natural environment and providing more access to care to people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get that. And if you follow my 7 do's and don'ts, you'll start to find that your telepsych appointments become more engaging and less awkward and uncomfortable. My first tip for you is to make sure that you do go through a checklist of things about the patient or client when starting the appointment. Don't just launch into the appointment as you would when you let them into your door of your office. So make sure that you ask them their name, their location, if they're in a private environment, and I would also ask them their birthday. My second do and don't is to make sure that you're yourself in a private location, so that way you can respect your patient's privacy. Don't be in a public place or in a place where you have a lot of foot traffic within your own household. However, I understand that every therapist situation is different and that a lot of people have to take care of their own children, but to be able to isolate that time and physical location is going to be very important for engaging with you and your patient. So I definitely recommend kind of separating out that space if you can do so. But everyone's different, and that's not 100% feasible for everybody. My number 3 do and don't is to make sure that you do have good lighting. Don't have lighting directly behind you, such as sitting in front of a window, because that's going to blur out kind of the detail on your face, and it's going to make the encounter a lot less engaging. What I would suggest is having 2-point lighting kind of on your left and your right, rather than just right in front of you, in front of the camera, because that's going to put a lot of eye strain on you. My 4th do and don't is to make sure that you do make very good eye contact with your web camera to make sure that the patient perceives having good eye contact with you. So what I would suggest is making sure that within your window for your telepsych program that you put the patient's video at the top, right below your web camera. Of course, this is presuming that your camera is at the top of your computer. Some computers have it at the bottom. In that case, I would say put the video down at the bottom, wherever your camera is. So put the video feed right next to where the camera is, so that way when you are looking at them, you're also looking at the camera. And this is going to help kind of with the patient perceiving that you're making direct eye contact, which is going to keep them engaged for longer and make your appointments more effective. My fifth do and don't is to make sure that you move around a little bit, that you move your hands and use hand gestures. Don't sit around super stiff with your arms down here typing the whole time. You want to make sure that you're welcoming your patient, showing them your palms, showing some of that nonverbal communication that's very difficult to get. And you got to make sure that you keep your mind on the fact that there's a frame that you have to do this within. So don't wave your arms out here, but keep everything kind of in a tight box and keep that mental image in your head. Tip number 6, make sure that you have an external microphone or a headset or at least some sort of headphones such as these. You want to make sure that you're not just using your laptop microphone, because some of them kind of make the sound more brassy, and that again is going to make the engagement between you and your patient a lot less strong. My 7th tip is to make sure that you don't have a very distracting background. I've got a couple props here. I don't think that's too distracting, but if you had like a entire set of stuffed animals behind you, or like a TV going on in the background, that's going to be very distracting to your patient. They're not going to focus on what you're saying, and instead they'll be focused on what's going on, or even worse, they may click out of the video feed and start surfing on the internet. So you want to keep that in mind. Okay, thank you for sitting through till the end of the video. I have one more bonus tip, and this takes place outside of your encounter. So what I want you to do is, between each session, make sure that you stand up, stretch, make sure you stretch your arms over your head, look away from your computer screen, your camera, look at something far in the distance, and give your eyes a little bit of a break, give your body a break, and you'll find that you'll be less burnt out throughout the day. So I hope that these tips are helpful for you, and if you have any additional tips for the community, make sure that you leave them down in the comments. I'd appreciate that, and we can have a discussion about that. Of course, this list isn't exhaustive, and make sure that you look at your state's paperwork about telepsych and telemental health for different bylaws or regulations that you have to comply with. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you do me a favor and hit the like button down below, or leave a comment. I'd appreciate either. And if you want more content like this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, so that way you can be notified when I have a new video coming up. Until next time, make sure that you level up.